Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is The Walking Dead Season 10, Maggie's Epic Return. We got some really good theories we're going to talk about today. Killshot from 99. Hopefully, look, we got it figured out. I don't know how. I played around with setting number 4, and it looks like we finally got this. So we don't have to delete. Don't leave yet. Stick around. We've got some good stuff to talk about. A whole lot of great things going on with the channel. I know you guys have just been kind of burning the oil with me. We had trivia last night. Great trivia event. A lot of fun with Play Dead Live. You guys don't know what Play Dead Live is. It is our role-playing game. We do it every Friday night. We've got a big announcement, semi-announcement for tonight. We also have, we're going to do the best moments tomorrow night. I mean, full slate. Before we get too far into this video, let me say thank you to all the patrons that are out there. You guys are absolutely wonderful. The PDL sponsors. I saw we had Crawfish up there super chatting. Kel, does that put us at 30? Does that put us at a complete box already for our Saturday event? I think we've already pre-sold for Saturday, so we are moving right along, everybody. We're going to have a good time. Hopefully you guys got a chance to get on the Facebook fan page and check out a little bit of what we got going on. We're going to talk about Maggie today. Yeah, we're at 30. So we already got a box opening on Saturday. And I've got I think a pretty powerful theory that I'm going to talk about tonight. How I think Maggie is going to return. And I don't think she's going to just stroll in there with a whole lot of firepower. I think it's going to be creative. I think it's going to be resourceful. And I want to get your thoughts on exactly how you think that might happen. Anybody excited about The Walking Dead? I know... Look, it's less than a month. So the countdown is on. There's a lot of excitement. You know, people miss The Walking Dead, but I feel like our game has bridged the gap a little bit. Great video, by the way, Father Ron. Did you guys get a chance to see Father Ron's challenge video for Play Dead Live Friday night? If you did not get a chance to see it, check out our Facebook fan page and show Ron a little bit of love. I think he threw down the gauntlet with Will the Bill. A lot of people want to see that matchup. So, yeah, if you didn't get a chance to check it out, get over there and check it out. It was I was telling the mods, Ron, I watched that video like 20 times. I couldn't stop laughing. I kept watching it over and over. So this is great. But that's the passion and the enthusiasm that we need. And you guys play Dead Live and want to get some packs. The winner's going to get 5 packs on me. As long as we get 5 videos. Yeah, check it out, Amanda. It was great. Will is busy working. So I posted this on a Patreon site a couple days ago. And do you guys remember the scene where Negan was going to kill Carl and Rick was there? He said, not today, not tomorrow. And then Shiva rolled in. And then Maggie came in guns a-blazing. That's where we kind of, we saw that. And Maggie's been known for that, right? That dramatic entrance. So I don't feel like that's going to work with the Whispers. I think it's overplayed. I think it's very cliche that those type of entrances happen. And I think that the sneaky, Alpha not knowing who Maggie is might play more into the story. What's up, E-Beach? Good to see you, my man. The Widow is alive, but I don't feel like the Whispers are a group that is going to get mowed down. I mean, this is a group, they've got spies everywhere. They're prepared for most things. Michonne's talking about getting weapons, and it doesn't appear that Michonne's going to be back. So, for my money, I am going to go bold prediction. Now, there's one thing about me that you guys have to know. Many of you know it because you've been here for a long time. But some that may be watching the playback or hanging out. And if you guys are here, do me a favor, hit the like button. We have a great time talking about The Walking Dead. We do spoilers. We do predictions. We funnel things down. We do recaps. A little bit of everything. But there's one thing you guys got to know. When I make predictions and I really, really dig into it, I'm trying to think it all the way through, put my passion, put my reputation on the line. Now, I have not been right about every theory that's out there. But I think I've got a pretty good record. And this type of story just kind of, it feels good to me. Now, some of you are not going to like what I'm going to say today. What's up, Gina Rocket Crockett? I love the nickname. Because I know how important your characters are to you. And when I say something that's not popular, then immediately I get a little bit of that backlash. But I do have to tell you guys that Maggie and Negan coexisting is very, very complicated. And I don't think that it makes for a good story. Someone even said the other day, I don't know who it was. It might have been a patron, it might have been a fan. And I can't agree with it, but said maybe they move the story along with having Maggie and Negan have a relationship. No. That never going to happen. Never going to happen. I respect your opinion, but it is just a revolting concept. No chance that she makes out with the dude that beat her husband's head in. Just not going to happen. Now, slightly less than never. That to me is never. But slightly less than never, now that Rick is gone, now that Michonne is gone, is that Maggie and Negan will coexist. It just does not work on the story. And I do, Lynn. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to go on to other opportunities. I think at a minimum, Jeffrey Dean Morgan has a season and a half. I think it's possible he's gone at the end of this season or something early next season. So I just don't see, when they made the decision to bring Maggie back, they had to have the Negan exit strategy in mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's great for the franchise. I do think another spinoff, another story. Eric, I don't even know if it's a crossover. I mean, if you've got The World Beyond only lasting for 20 episodes, and then you've got Fear, wherever Fear is going to go. All right, hopefully we got everybody back. Crazy YouTube stuff going on these days. All right, if everybody's back loud and clear, just give me a quick 999. If you're not, do me a favor, just type F5 in there just to get caught up with the stream. We're not going anywhere. Just, I don't know. I mean, they make enough money to keep us going. But seriously, I've had some YouTube issues the last couple weeks. Yeah, I agree. YouTube's afraid of Father Ron's video. And all right, let me say this, okay? Because when I make a prediction like this, I immediately get accused of, Kills, why do you always hate Maggie? Why do you hate Michonne? You do these videos, you talk about it. But think about it. Look, don't think with your heart. Think about how hard this is for us to accept a Maggie, Negan, anything more than a limited partnership. So, Gina Rocket Crockett. Kills, I must say, I'm dying to hear your news about Miss Maggie Ree. Is she coming in, guns a-blazing to save the day? What's your theory? I've been on pins and needles. So, thank you for that, Rocket Crockett. We got Patreons back up on the screen. Let's get Maggie back up on the screen so we can talk about her. I almost feel like Maggie and Negan can accomplish something together, but once they accomplish it together, it's the end of the line. And I stated this before with Daryl and Negan, that I thought Daryl and Negan might be able to fight a war together because there's a bigger enemy out there that they have to fight. And look, I think if there's one thing about Negan, you probably can count on him temporarily as long as he's got skin in the game. But once that's over, I almost feel like Negan is going to want, he's smart enough, and they're going to have to play a little bit of sympathy card with him. I think Negan is going to want to get himself exiled. I think that saves a little bit of face with him. Look, he already left. He was in a cell, expected to be killed, was ready to move on. Now he's kind of figuring out this Whisperer group. But if Maggie, so Gina, if Maggie were to sneak in and Negan would not turn her in, and they would formulate a plan together, I think that elevates Negan's status a little bit more. It creates a little bit more trust, but I don't know that it creates enough trust for them to ever grow strawberries together. And that's what I'm going to leave it up to you. Not as the audience, because as an audience, I think we pretty much accepted Negan. But let me ask each of you, what will it take Maggie's character? Or is it ever possible that you think Maggie's character could live in the same, fenced-in hilltop area as Negan? We got Will the Bill super chatting. My hat's off to you, Ron. I'm driving home thinking, how in the hell I'm going to top that? Great job, but you're dead. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, no. That's great. Great job, but you're dead. Father Ron, that might have been the comeback that we expected. It's like, yes, I'm going to do a video, but then I'm just going to control smoke you, unholy smoke you, rage, and destroy you with my fire bracers. I'm going to talk a little bit about PDL, PvP in a little bit, but we got the Walking Dead fans checking in, and I know, a lot of these streams we get together, and it's like, wow, we want to play, we're ready to play. So I'll have some announcements toward the end of this video to sort of keep you guys going. So Brian H.M. says, Maggie and Herschel can't live with Negan. I agree. Moonshot said, what about him saving Herschel? Well, let me say this. Look, everybody. Hang on. I got to paint this, and I got to put this up on a big bulletin board for everybody. Negan and Maggie are not coexisting. And here's why. Negan has been locked up for 7 years. Negan has built a friendship with Judith. Negan has saved Dog. Negan has saved Judith. Negan has saved Aaron. And after all of that, they still wanted to kill him. So you do all of that stuff, and the group still is going to kill you at sunrise, and you have to leave the group. One more heroic deed is not going to make everybody all of a sudden wisen up and forget that you beat down Glenn and Abraham with a baseball bat. It's not that you killed them. It's the method of which they killed him. What he did is unforgivable. The way he killed her husband in cold blood is unforgivable. There's wars. There's battles. You shoot somebody from 30 yards away. You hang somebody, whatever the case may be. He hit him in the face. His eye was hanging out. He tried to say last words to his wife, and then Negan danced over the top of him in front of everybody. Let me explain that to you guys again. That is unforgivable. She will not get over it. Fluff the flamethrower. They could make it work, but only if Negan agrees to make his world-famous spaghetti every day. No! I love the sense of humor, But guys, okay, this is part, you can call it a plot hole if you want. I'm getting fired up with this. I'm actually not even sitting down. I'm standing up right now because I need to ask everybody in this stream, face to face, each one of you in this stream, somebody beats down your significant other with a baseball bat in front of you. In the method of which they beat it down. Stop being a Negan fanboy for a second here. Put yourself in Maggie's situation. Not in Michonne's situation. Not in Rick's situation. Not in somebody else's situation. Put yourself in Maggie's situation. And you tell me that you're going to be a long-term partner or a resource with this person. Now, if you need him because there's another enemy that's going to kill all your people also, then okay. You cut a temporary deal. But that don't mean that we're going to be long-term friends here. That does not mean that, okay, after this deal is done, that you and I have some type of friendship. Because every time she looks at Negan, every time she looks at baby Herschel, she's going to look at that man and say, that's the reason why you don't have a daddy, because of that man. Abraham was already dead. He already made his point. There was no reason, none, to murder Glenn. Now, we can say Negan is redeemed, and he is redeemed. But he needs to be redeemed in another city, another state, another story, another movie. When they made the decision to bring Maggie back, it spelled the end for Negan's story arc. It's winding down, everybody. Otherwise, they're not going to bring Lauren back and keep both of them here. I know it might be unpopular. I know you might not agree with it. But I told you guys this is going to be a bold prediction tonight. What is done with Glenn. But if you accept Negan, it is only because you are a fan of Negan. It's not because you put yourself in the role of Maggie. Maggie, if I was Maggie, the first thing is, if I could use Negan temporarily to get an edge, maybe I do. But then you know what's going to happen after that? Hey, you know what? Rick Grimes isn't here. Sorry, but I do have to kill you. I mean, that's just got to be, that's the way it's going to go down. Maggie, let's give a kills coin to the first person, and we're going to go all the way back to season 9. What was Maggie's plan for Negan? I'll give a kills coin to the first person that can tell me how diabolical what Maggie wanted to do to Negan. No, not just kill him. Exactly, Tommy. She was going to kill him at Glenn's grave. She was going to take him back to Hilltop, to Glenn's grave, and kill him there. Think about that for a second. That's how dark and cold and twisted she was willing to go to exact that level of revenge. And every time she feeds Herschel, every time she teaches him something, every time she takes him for a walk, every time she does all of these things by herself, she despises Negan more and more and more. So you can't tell me that she's going to get up and they're going to have cordial words every day. They're going to have breakfast in the same hall. They're going to farm together. They're going to plan how to build a city together. She doesn't trust him. And in fact, even if I'm not Maggie, I don't think I could fully trust Negan to have a legitimate role in the decision-making process. Maggie aside, I don't see Negan as the type of person that could be on the council. But it gets a little complicated. And the question is, if Alpha is dead, does Maggie need Negan at all? I mean, what's the value? What's the value of having both of them there? What does she need Negan for? How does Judith need Negan? Negan's gone. Negan's not around for Judith. I agree, Singer Chick. Why do you need Negan if Carol, Daryl, and Maggie are there? You don't need Negan for Judith. He's not even there. You guys are talking about something that doesn't even exist right now. Judith is at point A. Negan is at point B. At this point in the story, it's all conjecture. It's all, well, maybe they'll win the war and Negan will come back. Just like people were saying Michonne was coming back, and that looks like it's not going to happen now. There's people making the assumption that Negan's coming back to Alexandria and they're going to live happily ever after. There's no guarantee Negan's coming back. There's no guarantee that Negan's ever going to run into Judith again. And it does certainly feel like Maggie coming back could be taking a big portion of that burden off of Michonne. So it's certainly complicated. Now, unless Maggie's coming back for a couple episodes and then disappearing again. Well, I would find it very hard to accept that they were only bringing, I think when they bring Maggie back, there has to be some popularity to it. There has to be some acceptance from the fan base, because certainly fans were not overly thrilled when she left the first time. So bringing her back temporarily and then having her leave again just doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of sense. So it's got to be something that's going to ingratiate her to the audience again. I would just say, for my money, it's more likely than not Maggie is returning, Maggie stays, Negan has a complicated exit. See, I agree with that, Michael. Bringing her back temporarily would make it feel cheap. And Angela Kang will have a way to make the story work. I don't think there was any... Amy, I don't disagree there's a big fan base for Negan. There's not a bigger fan base for Negan than there is for Daryl. There's not a bigger fan base for Negan than there was for Rick. There probably wasn't a bigger fan base for Negan than there was for Glenn. But yet Glenn's gone. They killed Glenn. So... what makes the story need Negan at this point any more than the story needed Glenn? I mean, maybe there's a bigger fan base for Negan now than there is for Michonne, but I don't think it's a matter of who's more popular. I think it's a matter of when it's time for someone to move on, because, look, you're not supposed to wait until a character has completely bled their character out and is worthless to kill them off, sans Tara. I mean, Tara's a prime example, right? Had a little bit going for her, then it kind of got a little bit crazy. Then they had to ramp it back up, then they killed her. The idea when these characters move on is that you don't wait until they're not the most popular character, the least popular character on the show. So there's nothing wrong with moving Negan out when he's got a decent fan base or following. It doesn't mean you have to kill him. It just might mean that they've decided to go in a different direction. The movie, a spinoff, any of those things. But what we typically do is, and as I said, this is where we're going with this, right? We start off with saying, does the story work? And then it transgresses into, well, why would we let Negan leave the show? Well, that's not our choice. If it were our choice, well, and I'll ask you guys, if it were your choice, you'd still have Shane, right? You'd still have Merle, right? You'd still have Andrea, Dale, Noah, Glenn, Abraham. I mean, if it were the fans' choice, 90% of the characters on the show would never die. All you guys wanted Abraham dead? How many people here wanted Abraham to die? That you thought it was great? Get rid of Abraham. No, not many wanted Abraham to die. But all of you guys wanted Glenn to die, right? It was good for Glenn to die, especially the way that Glenn died. Everybody here wanted Glenn dead. No? And there's no way that Rick was ever leaving the show, right? Show can't survive without Rick Grimes. So Rick's the most popular person on the show, but he's not on the show. So here's the point is, we don't know what we don't know. Who is it, Crawfish? Crawfish says someone is it a bounty hunter? We can put the bounty hunter up there. So, if Jeffrey Dean Morgan decides next season he wants to raise horses and attend all of his kids' recitals, then it's okay to let him leave the show, right? What I'm saying is you don't know what you don't know. And I don't know what I don't know, but I'm looking at the story and the direction that they seem to be pushing the story. And to me, it says that maybe either Jeffrey wants to move on or maybe the show wants to move him on, but something is happening here behind the scenes that just doesn't seem like it's going to make a good story with the two of them being there. Now, maybe next year we find out, well, oh, yeah, by the way, Jeffrey Dean Morgan only wanted to stay till this season because he had other stuff going on. But when Rick was on the show, see, here's the difference. When Rick was on the show, Maggie felt a respect for Rick to let Negan be an example. Rick is gone. And Maggie left. She couldn't kill Negan, but apparently she left for some reason. To get away from it, maybe. You guys feel that had something to do with it? That Maggie just wanted to go off somewhere else? Away from everybody else. Rick had died. It's complicated. Negan's still there. Let me just go experience something somewhere else. So now she's suddenly coming back. The challenge here is the difference in vibe from what the characters are feeling right now and the difference in vibe in what the viewers feel. Now, it's not always the same, but there are villains that we sympathize with. There are villains we like. So why is it that almost everyone in Alexandria wanted Negan dead? Why is that? He was innocent. They knew he was innocent. But they were looking for a reason to execute him based on the past. He didn't even do anything wrong. And the first questionable thing that happened to him, guilty. They don't want him. Because nobody speaks up for him? Well, Lydia. Because of his past. Now, I know some people said that Judith needs Negan. I don't think so. I think if Lydia survives this season, I could see kind of a Lydia Negan, kind of like a John Dory Charlie type of relationship. And maybe that makes a story. Well, Ben, I think it goes beyond human nature. This isn't just a question of human nature. This is a question of a vivid, ruthless person that beat somebody's head in with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire over and over again and danced in the moonlight and howled about it in front of people when he didn't have to do it, when the point was already made. So let me be clear with that, because I'm very passionate about this part of it. Forgiving somebody, hey dude, you just stepped on my foot. Oh, okay, hey, I forgive you. Hey, dude, you just bumped into the back of my car. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. We got car insurance. I got you covered. Okay, that's forgiving people. Down on your knees, forced to watch somebody beat somebody down with a baseball bat, it's not forgiveness. It's coexistence to a degree. It's you're going to be locked up. We should have killed you, but we're going to leave you locked up for one reason. So, let's go back a little bit. Negan did unforgivable acts. And what did Rick do and tell Negan? What was the whole point with Negan? He was convicted? No, he didn't forgive him. Absolutely not. He locked him up and he told him, you are going to rot in this jail. You are never going to get out of here. He's not going to kill him. He's going to leave him there to rot, to make an example out of him for years and years and years. Well, where is Negan now? Who decided that it was time to let him out? Rick was the judge, Rick was the jury, and Rick decided he was serving life in prison. And now all of a sudden, he's a free man. So it's almost as if, wait, Negan got 7 years in prison for brutally murdering 2 people? Now, I know what the Negan fans are going to say. Glenn did this, Rick did. I get it. I understand. But Negan was convicted in Rick's county, in Rick's jail cell, and locked up. And it's almost like it's completely expunged. So now Negan's a free man. He's with the Whisperers. He's got a brand new life. Well, it absolutely was a fair sentence because it's the only thing that kept him alive, Mist. It was, I'm going to kill you in this war, which is what, you guys remember Maggie running down the hill? So, why did Rick, hold on. All right, put the Negan fanboy caps to the side for a minute, because apparently we forgot what happened in season 7. And then we forgot what happened in season 9. Did Maggie have a right when Negan's people were up there trying to kill Maggie's people, and Maggie's people were trying to kill Negan's people in all-out war, and Rick and Negan are down there fighting, did Maggie have a right to go down there and kill Negan? Did Maggie have a right for revenge? Why did Maggie not kill Negan? There's only one reason why she didn't kill him. Who stopped Maggie from killing him? So Maggie wants revenge. Rick says, no. I'm the sheriff. I'm the judge. I'm the jury. I got a better idea, Maggie. Let's lock him up. We don't have to kill him today. We don't have to kill him tomorrow. We can lock him up. So Rick pulls his deal. I'm going to lock you up. People are going to see you. They're never going to challenge us again. And all is well. Until it's not. So now Negan is as free and as clear, and it's like it never even happened. It never even happened in the minds of the viewers, never even happened to the Whisperers, but it happened to Maggie. Busy Bee, it's not a question of pardoning or what happened before or after. It's in succession. Group A killed Group B. Group B killed Group A. They go back and forth. And then they're at this moment in time. And in this moment in time, Negan is there with Eugene. So, was Negan going to kill Father G? He wasn't? Didn't he have a gun pointed at Father G? And Eugene's bullets kept him from murdering Father G? Oh, we forgot about that. Wait a minute. Was he not up on the hill with a gun ready to murder Father G? Oh boy, you guys have really drinking the Negan Kool-Aid here. Come on, people. Let's not forget the story. Was Negan going to murder Carl with a baseball bat? I got fans like going nuts here, like, oh my God, they screwed Chandler over. Chandler Riggs, he shouldn't have died. He got bit. Can't believe he got bit. He got written off the show. Well, if Shiva doesn't show up, the great redeemed holy rider Negan would have just murdered Carl. So now you got a person who murdered Abraham, murdered Glenn, was going to murder Father G, and was getting ready to murder Carl if the tiger wouldn't have jumped in. Now, I understand it's the way it's written, but this is his character. His character was getting ready to beat down Rick's son with a baseball bat as well. He was not stopping that swing. It was just one of them things that had to be done for Rick. But it's okay. All he's got to do now is rescue baby Herschel, and all is well. I don't agree. So, as stated, Maggie had every right to go down there and take Negan one-on-one and exact her revenge. And Rick stopped her to make a point for society. Not to free him. There was no... Look, Rick did not say, you know what, hey, Negan, you do a good job, and 7, 10 years, whatever, we're going to let you out of here for good behavior. And your whole record is gone. That was not Rick's intent. Rick's intent was for him to rot in jail. So, the bigger point that I'm making here is that when Maggie comes back, I find it hard to believe that she's just going to be okay with Negan strutting around living in the same community as her. So what do? You guys want to lock him back up? And do we want to have like first half of season 9 where Negan really didn't do anything except stay in jail. I don't think that's conducive to his story. I don't think that's good character development. So that's not going to happen. Not going to be Maggie in charge and Negan in a jail cell again. We've already seen that. And it doesn't seem likely that the two of them will coexist. It doesn't seem realistic that the two of them could coexist. Crawfish, I'm just going to read the first part. That seems blasphemous, but, Rick is a habitual liar. He told Negan, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I'm going to kill you. And he also said he'd follow Maggie. That's true. That is true. But you can't really say anything bad about Rick Grimes. I mean, Rick's at a whole different level than Negan. But I would like to touch on that. And Crawfish, I think that's a good point, is he didn't kill him for a reason. He changed his mind because he thought that the example was going to be bigger. But mercy prevailing over wrath apparently does not mean that I'm going to let you out of prison after a few years. Because even though when Carl died, Rick kind of was reminded, right? My mercy prevails over my wrath. But he still locked him up and told him, you're never getting out. Well, he changed him to merciful, but he didn't change him to bail bondsman and let him out of jail. See, that's the interesting part of the story, Ben, is Rick still continued to not want Negan free. And that's the challenge that the story's going to have with Maggie around. Now, granted, with Maggie not being there, it's been a little bit easier to get some work out of Negan. I mean, they've let him roam around Alexandria a little bit. They let him help out. They lock him up from time to time. But still, it seems to me that that's going to be harder to sell to the audience when Maggie's back in the equation. And because they're bringing her back in the equation, I feel like Negan is the odd man out. For whatever reason. Maybe they got a bigger story. Maybe they got a spinoff. Maybe he's going to want to take some time off, just like Denai and Andrew do. And that's, we don't know what we don't know, right? We only know the direction that the story's going. And that has been a pretty fired up, passionate, what is going to happen when Maggie comes back and how is she going to mix in. And as we stated at the beginning of this, it seems, and I feel like the group is going to be a little bit down. I mean, if Michonne does not make it back with the weapons, which it appears she won't, and we keep seeing these situations where it looks like Beta is going to Alexandria. Alexandria appears to be falling. Would you guys agree with that? It looks like Alexandria does not have very much. That the Whisperers are going to overrun that like for real. So here's a couple things that we I'd say we do know, but we think, or strongly think. Jennifer Ashley here from South Carolina. Thanks for representing South Carolina. Go Tigers. So here's a couple things that we think, right? If Alexandria falls, the group appears to be losing the battle. They appear to be losing the war. There's a group stuck in the cave. The group in Alexandria is probably going to be overrun. And Michonne likely will not make it back with the weapons. That's 3 pretty devastating situations they have to deal with. That's not likely a situation where you can just kind of get the troops together and say, yes, grab the pitchforks, grab the guns. We can win this war. It almost seems like they've got to have a different strategy or something a little bit more unique, which is why I think Maggie will be back, and which is why I think Maggie and maybe a couple others will find a way to infiltrate the Whispers. Now, that's where it gets a little bit complicated, because even if Negan does recognize Maggie, I think that Negan gains a little credibility. Not that he needs a lot, because I think the fans have forgiven him, but I think he gets a little credibility if they can work together. But I still don't think it gets him complete redemption with Maggie. And if they have to rebuild a community, I don't see him given any authority. I don't see him trusted. And if you can't give him authority, and you can't trust him, and you can't promote him, and you can't add value, other than us liking him, what's the point of having him on the show? I'm just being honest. What's the point of having him there if it doesn't make sense that the major characters don't accept him there? So we got, hold on. Crawfish is giving me something to think about here. Does Rick think McGruff the crime dog? Follow me for a second. When Rick, Carl, Michonne caught my hunters, he took the law in his hands and took a bite out of crime. Rick's always been like that. And the group has always allowed him to be like that. I mean, that's the unique charisma of Rick Grimes. Like, they will follow him. Even in the comic they did that, Crawfish. He makes mistake after mistake, and very seldom is he ever called out or challenged. And I think more so in the comic that's highlighted. Like, in the comic, he's a baffling idiot sometimes. I'm like, what situations does he keep getting the group into? And how many times in the comics do you see him ask somebody like Michonne or Carl or Andrew, somebody's like, is this my fault? Am I doing the right thing? Is this I would bet 50 times in the comic he's doubted himself. And he's always looking for that affirmation, like, reassure me that I should be leading this group. Well, and Mail, that's the last point that I want to make before we wind the stream down, is there's no kingdom. Oceanside, I don't think looks too good. It appears that the Whispers are overrunning Alexandria. So that's going to leave one place, which means they all have to convene at Hilltop. And if they're all at Hilltop and Maggie comes back and sort of stakes her claim as the leader of Hilltop, Negan is probably moving on to the next story. And personally, I'm okay with it. I would much rather see a Negan story where if he is going to be redeemed, he's allowed to be redeemed around new people and to tell a different version of the Negan story, rather than one where he's always going to be second guessed and looked at. The fans might not immediately like it, but certainly the other characters, that wouldn't follow him around, and it would give him a chance to, if he wanted to be Negan again, he wanted to lead, he could go elsewhere and kind of start it all up again. But just doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do that with Maggie. All right, everybody, we are an hour and 33 minutes, so pretty passionate Maggie conversation. So last question I'm going to ask the group here. If Negan were to leave the show and there was a brand new story, a brand new spinoff, would you be interested, not killing Negan, but would you be interested in a series or a show where he was the lead and he was the star of the show? Leave your thoughts and comments. And while you're answering that question, let me give a shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Top left-hand corner. PDL sponsors. Top right-hand corner. Thank you so much, PDL sponsors. You guys don't know what PDL is? It's Play Dead Live. Be here on Friday night. We're going to be doing Play Dead Live PvP. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm going to stick around for about 5 more minutes once we end this stream and just answer a couple PvP questions for some of our gamers out there that want a good mix of World of Warcraft, Dungeons & Dragons, AD&D, Magic the Gathering, UFC, all rolled up into one. We are not doing an early stream tomorrow. I was going to do a 7 o'clock stream and do inventory. It's not going to be ready. So tomorrow night we will be here at 9:30 only doing a Best Scenes in the History of The Walking Dead Part 3. Third time we've done that. Catch the playbacks on the other one. Get involved. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Thursday, we will do a early stream at 7 and also a 9:30 stream. I got Cardinal super chatting one more time here. Are you afraid of the dark? Out of the shadows comes a mysterious figure. He has had many names over generations. He will be unleashed soon. That's definitely some PDL stuff right there. And no snake milking abilities for you, Crawfish, as a priest. All right, everybody. That is the wind down of the Walking Dead topic. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. A shout out to my moderators. We got Julia, Amy, Tommy, Kel, and Ben the Tin Man. So thanks so much to all the moderators. You guys are absolutely wonderful. The green team, everybody here. So I'm going to take just a couple minutes. If you guys have not had a chance to check out our Facebook fan page, check it out. I put a contest up today where you guys can record a video on our Facebook fan page, and the one that gets the most likes, it is basically going to be like a WrestleMania, a challenge where you're doing the video and you're going to pick another PDL player and call them out and say, Friday night fights, I'm challenging you. So we saw Father Ron, you guys see Father Ron right there, threw down the gauntlet in full priest garb and challenged Will the Bill and said, I'm not even going to try to say what he said, but basically, Will, it's on Friday night. So we're waiting on Will to post a follow-up video. So whoever wins, I'm going to buy you guys 5 PDL packs. So we will open those live. Gives you a chance to get some smokes, give you a chance to get some potions, give you a chance to get some items. So there's that opportunity to kind of get a little bit of gear and get further along in the game. So I'm going to ask you guys to state your challenge. Friday night is going to be our first PvP matchup in that format. We're going to have a main card, so you guys have already had a chance to vote. Right now, it looks like Will and Ron may be leading the voting. I think Crawfish and Bones was up there really high. Tommy the Tank was challenged, so the most votes will likely be the main event card. Everybody else show up. Here's the deal. If you show up and you're ready to do a challenge, even if you don't get to fight that night, you're going to get dead dimes for showing up and cheering. So you're going to get an attendance bonus, not of experience points, but of dead dimes. So everybody shows up. You get to cheer on your favorite person, see who's going to win, see who's going to lose. It's a good chance to sort of understand how the battles go. And then what we're going to start out by doing is we're going to have unannounced challenge matches. So it may be Hippo may be there and say, look, I'm available. I want to fight such and such. And we're going to put them in the ring right there. We're going to put them in that scenario. It won't just be a ring. It'll be different scenarios. Now, Could be a cave, could be a mountain, could be an arena, could be a cliff, whatever. And occasionally there are going to be hidden items. Could be some smokes there that you'll be able to use to battle the other person. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. Bonnie Wright, thank you so much. And by the way, any super chats that we do are going to our pack opening on Saturday. So Bonnie picking up a 4-pack. Thank you for that, Bonnie. I appreciate that. We're going to have a lot of fun. There will be a title belt, Hippo. I'm not even joking. So I want you guys to really get immersed in the PvP, but I'm not done. I mean, this only gets better. So everybody there'll be a few unannounced matches, and then the matches will get tougher and tougher. So we're going to have Cardinal Crawfish picking up another 4-pack. So we may have the second highest rated match. So it may be B-Dub. It may be Bonnie versus Trigger. Maybe those get votes. So they'll be the first undercard match, and then we'll get to the main event. And if the main event is Crawfish and Will or Ron and Will, then it's a battle to the death, whoever wins. Here's the deal. There are a couple stipulations and a couple formats. And I know you guys are going to ask again, but I still want to go over it. This Friday night will be what we're calling standard. Standard means you could end up fighting more than one time, but you can only use one each of any kind of smoke or any kind of potion. If you use a control smoke one time, you can't use another one. So you're going to have to use your strategy. That means you end up fighting twice in one night, and you've already used an unholy smoke. You're not going to be able to use it for your next match. So sometimes you might fight twice. Sometimes you might only fight once. So there's going to be a strategy. Thank you so much, Crystal, Crazy L. Appreciate that. All of you guys buying packs, doing the super chats. We're going to do another big pack event open on Saturday, and that's going to be the day after PDL. But I'm going to give you guys one more neat little tidbit of information. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It might help out some of the new PDL players as well. If the format, it'll be random scenes, but it'll be random format. So if the Friday night fights is a type 2, that means, so almost the same as standard, you only get to use one of each item, but I'm going to let you pick one of your smokes or one of your potions, and if you have it in your inventory, you can use 2 of those. So if you have 2 unholy smokes and you say kills, I'm picking an unholy smoke, then throughout the night you can use up to 2 of those. The third format is going to be freestyle, and a freestyle battle night means I don't care. You use whatever you want to use. You can use the kitchen sink, as many smokes, many potions. You just want to blow the place up. You do what you want to do. That's going to be freestyle. So a lot of what we're going to do is going to be standard, which is going to put some limitations on it. Now, on Friday nights, we're not going to stop doing the pack openings. And you can see Crawfish just picked up a 10-pack. Deadly Dimes just picked up a 4-pack. Thank you guys so much. There are going to be bundles, but let me explain this. The difference between a bundle and the pack openings. The pack openings that we do occasionally during the week and on weekends, it's going to have your glyphs. It's going to have your weapons. It's going to have some smokes. It's going to have the gems. It's going to have the whole array of new items. So all your new stuff is going to be introduced on the weekend. And you guys have seen some of those. Your grappling gloves, your bionic parts. But in the spirit of PDL, on Friday nights, we're going to offer a PDL bundle. It is only going to be a bundle of smoke or a bundle of potions. And I don't have the exact details. I may do it at $20 for 5 smokes, so it'll be a little bit less. But here's the deal. You can only buy one for yourself. If you want to buy one for another player and you're generous, absolutely you can buy multiple. But you can only buy one to be used on that night. And the reason is because I don't want people popping in on PvP night, buying a whole bunch of smokes and loading up and taking those into the PvE environment. Now, if you buy a bundle and you don't use them that night, absolutely it will carry over into your PvE inventory. But people can't come in and say, I'm buying 5 of these bundles, and now I got 5 Holy Smokes, and 5 of this, and 5 of that, and 5 of that, and then it changes the gaming scenario. The gaming scenario is going to stay relatively moderated, but the PvP is going to be absolutely wild. Bonnie picking up another 10-pack for Saturday. So there's going to be some new items there, B-Dub. We're going to have a lot of fun. So does everybody understand what the bundle... There's not going to be a lot of bundles. There's going to be maybe a one of each smoke. There might be a random smoke. It's going to be like a pack. So you'll see, it'll be a bundle, but it'll be covered in a pack. And it'll say smoke bundle. Then it'll say random smoke bundle, and it'll say like random potion bundle. So if you pick up a bundle, you're still going to be gambling a little bit, but you might get the one that has the best smokes in it. And it will be discounted. So it's only for PvP night, and I just want to give players that may only want to do PvP a chance to come in and compete at a little bit lower price. So hopefully that helps. We'll find out. We'll find out if people pick up the bundles and like what we're doing. Now, what are going to be the rewards? Rewards are going to be whoever finishes the highest, whoever ends with the highest rank at the end of the week. Top 8 players are going to start out with custom avatars. So you're going to want to get in the rankings. Now later on, I may expand that. Maybe we'll make it top 16 players. We are also going to have a champion. So the champion is going to get bragging rights. I'm going to design him a little belt. You are going to be the champion if you're beating other people. So I think there's going to be some competitive pride. People are going to want to win. We're also going to post your record and your rankings. So if Crawfish is 5-1 and B-Dub is 4-1 and they're the 2 top rated, they may face off. You're going to want to win that match because you're going to have 500, 600, 700 people watching you do role-playing game PvP. Never been done. It's been done in video games. It's never been done in the format of what we do, where you're taking basically rolled characters and having 700 to 1,000 people watch you guys fight each other and cheer. So I am unbelievably excited about this. Oh, B-Dub, you're not going to be 0-4. We're going to teach you everything about PvP and role-playing. And I think once you see a couple fights and you know, hey, this person, I'm going to use control smoke, I'm going to use fear smoke, those items are going to be really, really huge. So here is the next news, okay? If Friday goes really, really well, which I think it will because we had a lot of fun with PvP in the last round of the Asylum, and we get some buy-in and some good interactions and people are really into it, we are going to continue to do it. And we've done 8 trivia nights. We are temporarily going to suspend our trivia. I think trivia needs a little bit of a break, not because Tammy is great at it. We got a little rowdy last night, and I think there's more hype and there was more conversation around PvP last night. So if we have a good time Friday night and everything works, Monday night will be Monday night fights, and Friday will be Friday night PDL. So to give you a chance to keep the story going on Friday night, to get your items on Saturday, and to roll up your sleeves and kick a little bit of butt on Monday, and to load up on some rewards. So we're going to start it out with Monday night fights. I think it'll be a ton of fun. If we take a week or 2 off of trivia and we decide that we miss it a ton, we're going to add a trivia night, and we'll pick that back up, but we'll move that to a different night. So that should get everybody caught up. Any questions? I said I was going to go 3 or 4 minutes and end up going 10 minutes. There is not a stream where each item is described yet, Crystal. It's very massive. I mean, I have a list of it. I just haven't compiled it. Like I had Moonshot ask me, Kills, what does each glyph do? And I just texted him back and showed him what all the glyphs do. And it's easier for me to do that in the specific streams, Crystal. So, for example, I can tell you what all the smokes do, but when we get to glyphs and gearing, that's a little easier for me to do on a Saturday when we're actually doing the inventory, because then I can say, hey, you got this shoulder, these are the glyphs, which glyph do you want to put on? And then if you ask me like what type it is, I can sort of answer that on the spot. But there's so many items out there right now, and I'm continuing to bring on new items because there's just a lot of excitement about keeping the game moving forward, and there's some recent defense items added, so I had to add a little bit more firepower, so the offense is balanced with the defense. Tammy, here's the thing, is if I do trivia on Monday, and we've done it 8 weeks in a row, the PvP players are going to want a night to play. And if I do PvP, the trivia players are going to want a night to play. So it doesn't matter kind of what we do. It's kind of like we do with random things. We'll do random things for 4 weeks, and then we'll take a month and a half off. And I think after 8 straight weeks of trivia, I'm ready for a couple of weeks off. Doesn't mean that everybody is, but we've got so much hype and so much buzz right now around PvP. We're going to do PvP for a couple weeks. And if we find out that there's a big void that we want to fill with trivia, well, absolutely. We'll bring it back either on Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights, or we'll kind of fit it in as we get ready for The Walking Dead. We just change it up from time to time. So, but I would say you guys will be very entertained showing up Friday night. Show up Friday night and see what you think. And then if everything goes well, we're going to do it again on Monday night. And it'll be a regular Monday night thing. And when people are creative and super chatting bees and snakes and all of those things, Chris, say I haven't been here for a while because it's all game when you talk about The Walking Dead. You'd have to go back through the streams. I mean, I've not taken a day off in 29 days, so if you scroll back through the amount of videos, I think this month I've probably done 60 videos. And certainly we can't talk about Walking Dead every night when there's no Walking Dead on television. I mean, I could do George Drake videos if you guys want, just make a bunch of shit up every day and come up with a bunch of stuff that's not confirmed. But I would rather our January be productive and talk about things when we have topics to talk about, and not just kind of randomly generate a topic every night just because it's Walking Dead. But I certainly put a lot of time and energy into the game, so there's going to be a lot of talk about it. And I'd say there's a lot of gameplay to it. But my commitment, as I told everybody before, I have no plan of stopping talking about The Walking Dead. And as long as it's entertaining, as long as we have good stuff to talk about and we funnel it and spoil it and recap it, then there'll be stuff to do. If it but I'm sure we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time and do multiple things. Yes, you did. Crawfish tried to give me a day off, but well, hey, I asked you guys a question the other day. There's a lot of people wake up in the morning and they're already thinking about their PDL characters, like how they want to play their PDL characters. So, J-Lo, I think, not always. It just depends on the stream. The moderators will probably tell you this morning when I was like messaging things, I didn't seem like I needed a day off this morning, did I? I mean, I was pretty fired up. And then I start messaging Will and Crawfish. I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is such a neat idea. What do you guys think about this? This PV, and I'm telling you, like all morning long, I was just buzzing about these PvP matchups. And it's just like rapid fire. And they're reading it, okay. And I've got it visualized the way it's going to happen, and these matchups and these avatars and bragging rights and rewards and how it's going to turn into things. But look, I mean, what if you're the PvP champion and you pick up 5 pack of, I don't know what the rewards are going to be yet. You guys are going to find out, but it's going to be based on wins. It's going to be based on ranking. Sometimes it's going to be dead dimes. Sometimes it's going to be pack opening. Sometimes it's going to be unique gear that you can only get through PvP. But you can't win if you don't play, right? We're like the lottery. And I'd say I've seen the commitment to the game. Don't go in and try to change every aspect of the game. Go in and play the game. Let me worry about the tweaks and the modifications. You worry about playing your character being the best you can possibly be. And if you guys do those things, you're going to be one of the best. Oh, Rocket Crockett, absolutely. She said, I'm like a kid in a candy store. But I think it's because these are the elements, Gina, of a game that I always wanted to play, and I never found that, right? I always found these games that would have like one aspect of it or another aspect, but they didn't give you all of you don't have to be the fastest to play this game. You got a 15-second timer or 10-second timer, and if you know your items and your gear in advance, this is a game that is going to be based on your strategy and your preparedness, not how quick you can use a mouse or a joystick or a controller. It's not a reflex action game, although there is some reflex to it. Crawfish don't super chat reflex by Duran. I feel like that might be coming. But play it, get into it. Hey, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy priest gear like Father Ron. All that was really cool. I mean, I have green leather sniper gear, so if you guys got a chance to see my video, that's the bounty hunter. I wasn't planning on rocking tight green leather tonight, but when I saw Ron's video, I thought, you know what? If Ron can do it, why don't I? So that should open the floodgates for Tammy Dimes to do a challenge video, for Julia to do a challenge video, for Kel, for Crawfish. Hype it up. Grab the mic, throw a challenge out there to somebody, make it fun, and let's see. All right. I think I ran over my allotment of time. See, when we get to Play Dead Live, we talk about it more and more and more. So tomorrow night, be here at 9:30. Talk about The Walking Dead. Thursday night, be here at 7. We'll pop up some inventories on the screen. I'll have everything finalized sometime tomorrow. I thought I'd get it tonight, but not fully done. I had to go back and check some items that were used in stream to make sure that we got everything taken out that you guys used. And then I got to go back and put some more items. Pressure pushing down on me, pressing down on you, no man asked for. Under pressure. Love me some David Bowie and Freddie Mercury. That, you know what? I think I'm gonna play that right at the end of the stream. I'm not gonna play it during the stream because it'll flag the commentary. But I think I'll go listen to some Bowie and some Queen. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Appreciate everything that you guys do. All the people that bought packs tonight, be ready on Saturday. It's going to be some really neat items. So those of you that are planning to be hardcore PvP players, and some of you might want to kind of get your feet wet a little bit, but I'm going to tell you, it's very addictive once you get in. We will be putting some bundles up there to see if that helps people out a little bit. If not, we'll take them down and we'll just do the pack openings on Saturday. I don't want one to replace the other. I want it to be a nice in addition to, but I'll come up with a few sample things and we'll see how it goes. And then we'll compete, have a good time on Friday night. If that goes well, we're going to do our pack opening on Saturday and do our long inventory stream. And we're getting faster and faster. Believe it or not, we are getting faster and faster. People are getting more used to making decisions. And then on Monday, we will we'll do PvP again, and it'll be a little bit more serious, and we'll space it out and do it every Monday because the following Friday, we're going to start out with Crowley's Farm. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. I will see you 9:30 tomorrow. Peace.